Alright, this is lesson 11 for Algebra 1, adding and subtracting fractions. This is another basic building block. We know how to add and subtract numbers now. Now we're going to look at adding and subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions for the next few days, okay? So this is something you should already know, but if you don't, then we're going to review it again. And this is one of those basic things you have to be good at in order to move on. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble, okay, when we get through the rest of algebra. So you need to be good at it, okay? And we need to know how to do fractions because a lot of life is with fractions, whether you're cooking or figuring out how much gas you have in your car or, all sorts of things deal with fractions, okay? So that's the objective. Students will add and subtract fractions. The steps are here. If denominators are not the same, find the LCD and convert each fraction. Add or subtract the numerators to keep the denominators the same and simplify if possible, okay? So watch me do numbers 1 and 2, and then we will work on the rest together, okay? Pencils down, eyes up here. Okay, number 1. Okay, so we have negative 13/7 plus 1 3/4. First thing I want to do is change any mixed numbers into improper fractions. Alright, so we got negative 13/7 plus 1 3/4. So first thing we want to do is look at any improper fractions. We have one right here. We want that to be a mixed number. We want this mixed number to be an improper fraction. So the first thing we're going to do is we multiply. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So we have 7/4. That's the improper version of that fraction. So improper fractions are fine, so don't get too worried by them. We have 13/7 plus 7/4. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is try to add them. I can't really add them now because we don't have the same common denominator. So we want to make those the same. The lowest common denominator we have of those two is going to be 28. Okay, so we want two new fractions where 28 is the new common denominator. So I think 7 times what is 28? Well, 7 times 4 is 28, so 13 times 4 is 52. And I don't want to forget my negative sign in the front. And then 4 times what is 28? Well, 4 times 7 is 28, so 7 times 7 is 49. And I don't want to forget the plus sign in the front. Okay. Now I'm just going to add or subtract my numerators. So we have negative 52 plus 49, right? Same signs add, different signs subtract. What's 52 minus 49? 3, and then we know that 52 is bigger, so we're going to keep the negative sign, over 28. I'm going to try to simplify if I can. I can't, so that's it. That's my final answer, negative 3/28. Okay? That makes sense? Any questions on that? Okay, again, I'm going to show you one more time what I just did, so watch carefully. First thing is I converted the second fraction to an improper fraction. Then I found a common denominator of 28. Okay, lowest common denominator is 28, it's just the lowest common multiple. And then I combine the numerators, get the denominator the same, and simplify. Okay, pretty straightforward. Watch me do number 2 now. Eyes still up here. Number 2, first thing I'm going to do is convert any mixed numbers into improper fractions. So we have negative 1 5/8. We want that to be converted into negative. So we're going to do negative 1 times 8 is negative 9, plus 5 is going to be, negative 8 plus 5 is negative 13. 8s, okay. Second one, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so we have 7 halves. And we want to keep our signs, so we have a minus and negative here, okay. Two negatives is really a positive. Excuse me, thank you. So we got 13/8. Lowest common denominator now. We don't have a common denominator, but we know we could get a lowest common denominator of 8. So this first denominator we could keep the same. We could leave negative 13/8 plus, then we have a denominator here of 8. So we know 2 times 4 is 8. So 7 times 4 is 28. Okay. So we have two different signs. So we're going to subtract 28 minus 13 is 15. Bigger sign is 28, so we're going to keep the positive sign. And then I'm going to make this a mixed number, so 15 divided by 8. I'll just do a quick side problem. I don't find the decimal. It goes in 1 time, subtract remainder of 7, so our answer is going to be 1 7/8. And that's it. And we box our answer. Any questions? Pretty straightforward, right? Now, this was all taught to you before. You should have learned this for sure 6th grade. You probably learned it before. And so it'll pop up in a moment. So make sure that you're working on it. So I'm not sure why it's taking so long on the screen. But what I'd like you to do right now is discuss the 2 solo 1s about number 1, 1 solo 2s about number 2. Ready, set, go. All right, continuing. Here we go. Number 3. Here we go. 5/7 plus negative 11/6. Okay, let's do this one. Start it up together. Okay, what's the first thing we have to do? Do we have the same denominators? Yes or no? No. Okay. So we don't. So what's the lowest common denominator we could use? 42. How'd you get that? We can multiply 7 times 6. And then we want to check to see if there is a smaller one. But that really is the smallest one, is 42. So we need to change each of these so that 42 are the new denominators. So we have 42 and 42. These are our new denominators. Let's bring down our signs, plus and minus sign as well. So now let's ask ourselves, what do you multiply 7 with to get 42?
6.
Good, 6. So 6 times 5 is? Good, excellent, okay. That's okay if you're not getting it. Then 6 times 42, or 6 times what is 42? What? Good, 7 times 11 is? 77. Okay, good. So we're almost there. Now our answer is going to have 42 in this denominator. Now let's look at this, these 2 signs, plus and a minus sign. What does that mean? Plus and minus is really what? Subtract, right? So this really just means subtract. So we got positive 30 minus 77. Are these the same signs or different signs?
Different.
Good, different signs. So what I'd like you to do is write your answer. We got 30 minus 77 over 42. And then I'll check up on you in about 30 seconds. Go. We're there. So a variety of answers. So on this one, these are different signs. Everyone's looking up on the board, up on the board right now. 77, we have positive 30 and 77, so we got to subtract them. 77 minus 30 is 47, and the sign that's bigger is negative, so we're going to keep negative 47 over 42. So some of you got that, and remember the last step we wanted to make this a mixed number, so we got 47 divided by 42, it goes in once, remainder of 5, so our answer is going to be negative 1 and 40 or in 40 seconds. Okay. Can you fix your whiteboards if you made a mistake? I want to make sure you all have the right answer. Show me your work from before and make sure that I see that while you fix it. If you have it correct, that's good. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Okay, so this is pretty simple. 3 and 1/6 plus another 1/6. So I taught you that you should make any mixed numbers improper first. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19/6, right? Did you all get that? Plus 1/6. Okay. Are our denominators the same this time? Yeah, so it's cupcakes, right? What's 19 plus 1? 20. Can you all catch up with me on your whiteboards if you made a mistake? There's a few of you that did. Okay, and then you do a side problem. You go 20 divided by 6, which is 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract, we get a remainder of 2. So this is really like saying 3 and 2/6. Or 2 goes into 6 once, and it goes into 6 3 times. So it's really like saying 3 and 1/3. That's the correct answer. So if you made a mistake, please fix it. Okay? Hopefully you understand what's going on here. Y'all getting it? This is kind of hard, right? A little bit. Now this is, again, this was taught to you your 6th grade year. So you've had a few years of this, or you should have had this. If you didn't, then you need to catch up, because this is really basic math that you need to get down as fractions, okay? Let's keep going here. Let's do 5. Okay? Ready, set, go. I'm going to perform this one also for you. Some of you got it, some of you didn't, so just don't erase anything until you see it's a mistake and then follow along with me, okay? So first thing is 4 and 1/6 Sorry about that. 4 and 1/6. We want to make that an improper fraction. So 6 times 4 is?
24.
24 plus 1 is? Good. So we have 25 over 6. That's your first improper fraction. Okay? Then we have a minus sign, 15/8. That's improper. We don't have to worry about that. Do we have the same denominator? Now, so what's a good denominator to use? What's a common denominator? 24. So we should make this one 24 and this one 24. Okay, so two new denominators. Let's not forget our sign in the middle. What did you multiply 6 with to get 24? So 25 times 4 is? 100. Good. Okay, what do you multiply 8 with to get 24? So 15 times 3 is? 45. Okay. 100 minus 45 is? 55. And that's a nice one because we don't have to worry about a negative sign over 24. Okay. So you should all be at this point. Hopefully you're following along with me. Okay. Then we do a side problem to figure out what the final answer is as a mixed number. 55 divided by 24, right? It goes in twice. 2 times 24 is 48. So we got a remainder of 7, right? So it's going to be 2 and 7, 24. So we can't really simplify that anymore, so we're done. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Okay, good. One more. Number 6, and then we're done. Go. Okay, so on number 6, first thing you do, again, improper fractions, right? So we got this first one. 2 times negative 3 is? Negative 6 plus another negative 1 is? Negative 7, right? Actually, another way to look at it, let me just do it this way. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, right? Okay. Over 2, and then there's a negative sign in the front. Would you all agree with me? Okay, second one, we have a 3. 3 times 3 is? Plus 2 is? 11. So we got 11 thirds, and we have a minus sign in front of that. Common denominator. What's the common denominator we could use here? 6. Good. Okay, so we got 6 and 6 here. 2 times what is 6? 3. So 3 times 7 is? Good. 21. Put a minus sign there. 3 times what is 6? Good. 11 times 2 is? 22. Don't forget the minus sign. Okay, so there's a negative minus another number. So what do I do? Same signs or different signs? So do I add or subtract? What's 21 plus 22? Negative 43 over 6, right? Okay, then we do a side problem. 43 divided by 6. 6 goes into 43, what, 7 times? 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract to get a remainder of 1. So your answer, please fix your whiteboards. There are a lot of mistakes. Negative 7 and 1/6. That's it, okay? That's your answer. So if you did it correctly, give yourself a pat on the back. If you didn't do it correctly, please correct yourself, okay, through the steps. Are there any questions on this? So it's kind of hard, right? A little bit more difficult. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to discuss this with your neighbor as we end this lesson, and turn off your iPads and such.